Hi guys, how is everybody doing? I hope everybody has had a pretty good Monday or a pretty good start to your week. I understand a lot of people are probably working and may have to watch this on the replay if they're interested at all. And if you do that, I really appreciate you. For all of the people who are here, again, I appreciate everybody. I'm not myself, and I'm not going to be myself from what you guys have typically seen of me. There's a couple of disclaimers I'm going to go over here in the beginning before I start talking about anything. I'm also going to go ahead and address, I'm not going to be looking at the chat for a good bit of this, just to try and maintain my composure. If I have mods here, please just try and moderate the chat, make sure everybody stays friendly. If I don't have mods here, please everyone be respectful of what I'm going to say. I'm going to be talking a lot from my heart and talking a lot about myself and my own situation and how a certain creator on this platform has really offended me. And that's the truth of it. So, couple of disclaimers. Yes, I'm talking about Katie Joy. Please do not send her any hate. Please do not send her any ill will. I always say participating in negativity does absolutely nothing. If you think I'm making this video because I'm trying to be negative, please leave now. And I mean that sincerely. Please get off of my page because you don't know what I'm about. You don't know what kind of content I have posted, and I don't appreciate you here. I'm going to put this small caveat in. If she shows up, kick her. She does not deserve to be a part of this conversation at all. Not in my mind. She is not going to interject when I am being raw, real, and honest. Something that at this point, I don't believe she was capable of doing for the last 24 hours. My personal opinion. Another disclaimer I'm going to put out here. If you don't know me, I was in the system for 10 years in foster care. I was moved from more than 20 homes, upwards of 30. So I know what it's like to be removed multiple times, okay? I was adopted when I was 10 years old. If you don't know, I do have 2 playlists about my story if you care to know in detail. I am likely to talk about quite a few of those things in detail today. So if you are easily triggered or offended or you don't like hearing about abuse and neglect, don't be here. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm making this video, this live stream, because I want people to see how some of the shit Katie says genuinely can affect a person, because that's the reality of it. So in line with that, I'm going to probably cuss. I'm going to probably raise my voice at times. I'm going to act in a manner that you guys probably haven't seen before because I am genuinely, and I mean genuinely, pissed the fuck off. I don't care if you cuss in my chat. This is already going to be demonetized. I'm not going to be able to make any money off of this. So if you want to cuss, cuss. I don't care. If there's not mods, they're not going to be approved. Please just don't say any disgusting things towards Katie. Because although I may be talking about her and I may take a jab here or there because I'm that mad, I'm going to try my best to remain the professional individual that you guys have come to know and that you guys enjoy me for. But at this point, I am really talking from my heart, okay? So if you don't know, Katie somehow, according to her, was sent a story by a subscriber of hers about a family that was trying to be like Micah Stauffer. Okay, I talked about the Micah Stauffer stuff, whatever. I have kind of looked into a little bit about the stuff this family has posted and what Katie has posted. That is not a very fair comparison to do on this family. Because Katie has talked out of line a few too many times for me. It's the creating a story for me, okay? Micah Stauffer had millions of followers. She had put her life online. She had exploited her child online. I have looked at this family's social medias. I haven't seen that. Do not compare the two. Also, please learn the difference from like a year ago when I made my very first video about you. Learn the difference between a power of attorney, guardianship, adoption. Learn the difference. There is differences. Okay? Please educate yourself before you see a story and you just want to jump on it because you are triggering and hurting people. It is so hard for somebody who is an adoptee, who went into the field I went into to help families, to then have people who are like Katie, who just see something and want a freaking dollar, in my opinion, at the end of the day, and will drag anyone for it. Without knowing what's going on, without doing her due diligence, because if she had done her due diligence, this family say in their videos, in their posts, that they had adopted him. Just because he wasn't a part of the system doesn't mean he wasn't adopted. It is expensive to have an adoption out of the system. You have to hire, what is that thing called? A lawyer? Didn't you have to hire a lawyer recently? Wasn't that quite expensive for you? Educate yourself, man. Please educate yourself, because I am sick and tired of people sending me shit or of me coming across shit where you are misspeaking, misinformation, and you are hurting a ton of communities. You did it to the substance abuse community the other day. You've done it with DCF, trying to put out false information. And now you're trying to go into the adoption realm again and misspeak and misinform. What is wrong with you? Why do you not have any compassion for anyone else, but you expect nothing but compassion, sympathy, and empathy towards you? How in the world are you that fucking selfish? I mean, seriously, how are you that selfish? I don't understand. I just don't. I can't. Let me educate you guys for a minute. You can go through adoption without being in the system. Does the system typically get involved? Absolutely. But you can go through an adoption without the system. It doesn't mean it's illegal. Crossing straight, she talks about something about federal stuff. If you cross state lines and you're breaking the law, it becomes a federal issue. Don't insinuate and assume a family is doing something absolutely disgusting when you don't really know what's going on. And in this live stream that you did, at least on Instagram Live, you said you didn't know what the end goal was and you didn't know what was going on. But you immediately jumped on your platform and decided to air out all of this family's business. Show all of their social medias. Show where this gentleman was working. Show what he was doing. Why would you do that if you don't even know why you're talking about it? Why? Why? And you talk about how it's a religious thing for you, that it's because of their religion, on that they had to have this white savior complex. No, ma'am. How about you hold the mirror in front of you, because you coming to your platform and talking about stuff you clearly do not know or do not understand, trying to be the white savior of exposing a family. Do not. Adoption is hard. Not every adoption is successful. Children who are adopted have issues. Hate to break it to you. We all do. We are traumatized kids. I mean, it's going to happen. Maybe were things not handled how they would be if an agency or some kind of force was involved? Probably. But you cannot discredit everything that they have done or that they have tried to do if you don't know. You cannot sit there and tell me over a year of me watching you that you are an advocate. You stand for advocacy. You're an advocate for any kind of child. No, the fuck you're not, because you sat on your platform and you said you had concerns. You said you were worried. But you're not going to do anything about it. You're going to get on a live stream and just air it out to 140,000 people. because you don't want to seem like a hypocrite online, because you have recently come into my stream and said you've never called authorities on someone. Wrong move. If you have concerns for somebody, it is on you. It's 100% on you to make that call. If you have a concern about a child and you know you have a concern about a child and you want to tell 140,000 people you have a concern for a child's safety and you do not call when you clearly had all of the information to call their local authorities, shame on you. Shame on you. You wanted to make the story seem like this child was in imminent danger because of your perceived notions of what adoption is and what they maybe did to get that child. No. Let's not. So the title of this is I Was Wrong About Katie Joy. Yeah, I was. I was wrong for ever giving her a benefit of the doubt. I was wrong for ever even trying to understand and help her and educate her. Absolutely, I was wrong. Clearly, that is something that this individual, in my opinion, is unable to be self-aware. I've said it multiple times, and I am laying down the freaking law here. I am not going to continue to let this stuff kind of slide. There's been many things that she's done that's been brought to my attention or that I have seen and I've just ignored because I don't want to fall into the category of always making content about her. And I am not going to go down that realm. But I will 100% tell you from now on, if stuff like this happens and I become aware of it, you better bet your ass I'm going to get on here and say my 2 cents. Because I'm going to try and be an advocate, not only for myself, but for everybody that she may lie about. Because this is ridiculous. I did do a little bit of looking at this family. I watched their adoption journey video, and I'm not going to link it because I'm not going to put that stuff out there. Katie has so lovely allowed us all to be able to find their stuff because she thought she was exposing them. Just because somebody doesn't show you the literal adoption legal paperwork doesn't mean that an adoption didn't happen. Just because somebody fundraised for the adoption doesn't mean that they didn't hold the fundraiser for the adoption fees. I mean, for somebody who ends up in so many controversies of her own, I don't understand why she thinks it's okay for her to judge everybody else and expect no one to judge her in return. Well, sweetheart, I haven't judged you until now. You offended me. I was up all night with a pit in my stomach trying to decide if I should talk about this. Because it bothered me on such a degree as someone who's adopted. You put this little boy out there as if nothing. You talked about what some of his diagnosis as if it was nothing. You tried to act like you're a caring mother, but it did not come off that way. It is harmful to people who have been in situations to hear you misinform a ton of people. And to further stigmatize adoption, do you know how hard it is for kids to get adopted? I was in the system for 10 fucking years, ma'am. I was a ward of the state for 10 years. Okay? It's hard to get adopted. So for you to come on and try and demonize this family when you clearly didn't know shit about what was going on at the time of your live stream upset me. It upset me, and I don't want to cry. It upset me so much that I could not sleep last night, and I laid there and I was like arguing with myself that yes, I should make a video, but I didn't want to. Because I wanted you guys to see the real effect that some of her poor behavior has on somebody. You guys have known me as somebody to be extremely fair and extremely professional. But the reality of some of the shit that she says has this effect on people. Okay? Fuck you, Katie. Fuck you. Because of you, I didn't sleep well last night. Because of you, I feel I have to stand on a platform and defend people and cry and break my professionalism because you are so out of line on so many levels. How on earth do you sleep at night? Because me just seeing the shit that you were saying made it to where I couldn't sleep. And I know for a fact that you don't give a damn. That's where I was wrong about you. I was wrong in ever giving you any kind of doubt, any kind of trying to defend you to help people actually understand what you may be going through, what other people may be going through. But you take it upon yourself to put your hand in every pot possible, to do nothing but offend people. In my opinion, that is your goal at the end of the day, is you just want to offend people. You want to have an effect on people. Well, I hope you are happy. I hope you are happy because no other creator may be willing to sit on their platform and cry in front of 400 people. Goddamn. 400 people. Apparently, that's what I'm doing today to prove a point. And maybe, just maybe, you'll shut the fuck up. Do your thing. Make your videos. How about you just do the education and the research behind it first? That's all I'm asking. Don't go spewing terms. Don't go going with your stereotypical thought. How about you actually do some research? How about you actually take the time to look up what these things mean? And I found it funny that during her Instagram live, she pulled up a couple of sites. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. You really don't need to do that. I'm okay. I'm just this upset and this mad. And I want the reality to sink into people. You pulled up websites to try and make it seem like you were educating yourself. I don't fall for it. I don't believe it. I can no longer give Katie Joy grace. I hope you guys understand that. I hope people can see through my emotion. But she has, when you go on a platform and you refuse to do research and you refuse to educate yourself and you want to claim to everybody that you're an advocate, this is what happens. You hurt people's feelings. You trigger people. Am I triggered? No, I'm not triggered in that sense. I'm triggered in the sense of being so overwhelmingly frustrated that I have given somebody so many chances. So I've always talked about her in a way that I would hope she would be willing to listen. I didn't think she would, but I hope she would be willing to listen. Some people were saying in my first post that they think maybe she did this despite me. I don't think that. And if that is the case, then man, is she an awful person. I don't think a lot of people know a lot about me, even though I'm an open book. I don't think a lot of people know. I started this channel, and this is why I did this live stream, because I started this channel to educate, to advocate, and to tell my story to help other people, whether that it was because it was inspirational, it was motivational, or it helped somebody through a hard time. So while I laid awake all night, unable to sleep, ultimately I made a post on my community tab in the middle of the night. And that is why I made this video. That is why I decided to do this live stream, because of why I started this channel. And it's an uphill battle with her, and I'm not going to participate with her. If she wants to try and nitpick, she even mentions my name or tries to discredit me or come at my integrity, I will come back tenfold. I don't want to. This is not a threat. This is just saying, like, I am done. That is how done I am. I have done nothing but try to be a sense of reason for her and the communities around her. I have tried to do nothing but utilize her and the shit that she puts out as a way to educate people, including this video, just to show her, if she watches this, and anyone else who watches this, whether you are a supporter of hers or you are not a supporter of hers. If you are going to put yourself on a platform and you are going to build a community, no matter what size it is, just do your research when you're messing with other people's families and when you're messing with communities that are already damaged and that already struggle. Because the adoption community, as you saw with the Micah Stauffer stuff, is a community that is not talked about enough. There's not enough awareness around it. People don't know how adoption can work. People don't know what adoption is sometimes. And you have reignited in me to want to talk more about myself and to help educate people more about adoption. I have done quite a bit about CPS. I've talked a lot from my professional standpoint. I'm going to start talking about stuff from my personal experience so that maybe people will be able to see how stuff actually is, how it actually affects people. I'm 30. I was adopted when I was 10. And stuff still gets to me. I am not at all a quote unquote normal person because of my shitty childhood. Adoption was great. I love my family. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my family. I would not be where I'm at today if it was not for my family. I would not be on this YouTube channel right now talking to you guys if it was not for my family, because they are my number one and they are not biological. But you better be damn fucking straight that they're my one and only family. They were meant for me. And that could be the situation with this family. You don't know what they're going through. It's hard. It is hard for adopted kids and adopted parents. It is a very hard scenario. Things are hard. Life is hard. Bringing a child who has, according to you, baggage, not a good term to use. It's a child. You shouldn't relate to their traumas as baggage. I mean, you don't want people to relate to your traumas that you talk about as baggage. It's not an appropriate term to use. And to me, that further pushes the fact that you didn't research shit. You read these families' posts. You probably went through all of their social medias. And you came up with your own conclusion about what you think happened and what you think is going on. And you brought it to your platform. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to take a big sip of my coffee, and then I'm going to read the chat. really have been ignoring the chat. However, I see all of these super chats, and thank you guys so much. It's really kind. You guys don't. I don't like to get super chats because it makes me feel weird. I feel weird when people offer additional money to me, but thank you guys so much. I wish I could read them all, but I think some of them have disappeared. It means a lot that you guys are supporting me and coming on here and really just being vulnerable. Thank you guys. It really does mean a lot. So I'm going to try to gather myself. I really am not a huge crier. Oh my God, you guys don't have to do that. I really appreciate it. I am okay. I'm just really mad. And part of it is clearly, this is a sore topic for me. Yeah, some people do get pleasure from hurting others. I don't know if that's her prerogative. It kind of, I mean, I'm not trying to, in my opinion, looking at her content and how she does things and what people tell me, like, I feel like what is the term called when it's like shock value? Like you just want to shock people and you don't care if it's true. You don't care if it's genuine. You just want to shock everyone into watching your channel. She's got it down to like make people, she doesn't care, I don't think at this point, that she has most of the people who watch her hate watch her. What is also more frustrating is I'm sure a lot of people who support her in like exposing this family don't know that what she is saying is not totally accurate. There's a few things that she said during that live that don't make sense and is information she wouldn't be able to get access to. Like her not knowing unless it was posted somewhere that he wasn't a part of the system, like she wouldn't be able to validate that because the states can't release information on a child that's not yours. I did see looking back to kind of understand a little bit more about the family that she was talking about, I did see where they had publicly said it wasn't a typical adoption. So maybe that's why she said that. I don't know. I don't think I'm sorry if anyone else is also upset. I don't think her content or how she does things will change. I mean, that's my honest opinion. And my observation is I don't think she will change how she does her content because it's been successful for her. It's been lucrative for her. Why would she change? Thank you so much for the super chats. Again, guys, I really appreciate it. I am okay. I'm just really, really upset. I mean, I'm very, very mad, but I am also like genuinely, I am upset because people don't understand. People don't know about adoption. People don't know how it works. People don't know anything like that. And a lot of people who don't know are just going to believe whatever is told to them. Thank you for the kind words, Crescendo. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Wendy, and everyone else. I don't know how to go back and look at old super chats. I typically don't get, I'm not going to go down that road because that'll get held against me. Thank you guys so much. You really don't have to send any super chats. Thank you guys for the support. Yeah, that's the only reason why I wanted to do this, is because if I was affected by this, and I'm pretty strong in my story, I'm pretty comfortable, and like I advocate a lot, I talk about it a lot in like open discussions and stuff like that I do on my channel. But if I'm affected, somebody who is pretty strong and like doesn't typically get bothered by what other people are saying, instead I typically come at it with like, well, let's just educate. Let's just sit down, film a video, and educate people and let people know the real stuff. I'm so affected by this that I felt I had to get on a live stream and actually talk about it and let you guys see that if I'm in this kind of state, I can't imagine what other communities that she is really affecting more than what I've even really probably realized. I've known that she was probably affecting communities from the get-go, and that's why I had a live stream with Dana the other day about the substance abuse community. And I mean, to be honest with you guys, I feel like since the case was dismissed, she's been on a rampage because she feels that she got away with talking and saying whatever she wants, and she thinks that she's not going to be held accountable for spewing whatever kind of information. And unfortunately, we knew going into those kind of lawsuits that they're hard to prove. I'm not surprised it got dismissed. I don't think anybody genuinely is, but it sucks because now there's like this vindication to her and how she's going on about things. Thank you so much, Coffee and Cats and Jean. I really do appreciate that. I can't help but apologize. Thank you, Cheryl and Piabus. I will say, like, I know I am likely to get hate or get people criticize me about doing this video because it's out of character for me, and I understand that. If it happens, it happens. I hope people can just listen, because this really was just to help other people know that it's dangerous. What she does, what she's been doing, is dangerous. I've seen a few people comment here, and I've had it before, like people saying, hopefully you don't get doxxed. I hope I don't get doxxed too. I will tell you guys, if I am doxxed, if my location is doxxed, my husband is military. Okay, if it becomes a dangerous situation for us, we will have the ability to move. I don't want that to happen. I hope nobody goes to that length. But as far as like other information to find on me, there is none. I've put my entire life out on the internet pretty much. You're not going to find anything. Thank you, Ninja Girl, for the support. I really, guys, it means a lot that so many people are supportive and open-minded and understanding. I mean, in a way, when this kind of stuff happens, I always think, well, maybe I should thank Katie, because due to her continual patterns, she allows me and others who want to help break stigmas have these conversations, and people will click on them because her name is included in the title. So, and I will utilize her name, and if she wants to say I'm making money off of her name, then she can say that if she wants. I think this is the first time I've ever actually said anything negative about, like, my opinion in a negative way about her, so she can have that. Yeah, it is close. This situation is extremely close to my heart. It is extremely triggering. I am, I'm okay. Like, my mental health is fine. Fine. I just felt that I needed to be sure to allow people to see what others may be going through. Whenever things are said about maybe a community that they're involved with, like Dana doesn't typically talk about Katie Joy, but she felt pressure to because Katie kind of made a comment coming for a community that she holds very near and dear to her heart. I wish I had the ability like her to have remained more professional, but I just needed people to see and to understand. I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on with this exact family. I did do a little bit, and it didn't seem that from what I had seen, they've done anything wrong. But I didn't dig deep. So am I going to say that Katie is wrong and that maybe this family is engaging in some kind of weird activity? I'm not going to say they are, and I'm not going to say they're not. But from what I saw of their posts about the leading up to the adoption, it seemed to be done pretty normally and nothing that is totally unheard of. I've worked cases with similar situations, so it's not anything I'm not familiar with. It's not totally off the wall. And again, it's also not totally unheard of for adoptions to not be successful. I mean, I'm going to end up having a conversation about that because people clearly don't understand what adoption is and what it looks like and how things can be done. Yeah, I know that SALT still has the ability to file in Minnesota, and maybe they will, wherever she's at. I can't even think right. Wherever she's at. Right or wrong, no family should be attacked or aired out. I mean, yeah, these people had a small social media, but when I say small, I mean less than 100 subscribers on their YouTube channel. But she wanted to compare them to Micah Stauffer. Micah Stauffer and James Stauffer exploited the adoption before they even had the child in their care. Like, they're apples and oranges, man. Like, you can't. That wasn't the right phrase I meant. They're not the same thing. Let me just say that. They're not the same thing. It's clear that the Stauffers utilized the adoption and the child for financial gain. That has been proven by so many people and so many different news outlets. But this family was not doing that. You know, and I mean, I'm likely to probably in my own time go back and look and see what kind of if there is any information. From my understanding, thank you so much, Jean. From my understanding, it seems from what I've seen since all of that, her live streams, it seems that people are saying her, hey, Elbel, it's good to see you. People are saying that this family has locked down their social media. And I remember Katie trying to say in her live stream that it was because she knew she did something right. Or that since Katie called her out, she knew she was engaging in negative activity. Does she not think that maybe the people she has following her, because of her misinformation, how she decided to project this story, didn't cause people for concern to harass the family? Because that's likely more what happened, in my opinion, is that Katie went on her platforms, decided to say whatever she wanted to say, incorrect information, spewing misinformation, and then had some of her 141,000 people have concern and reach out to the family. But she wants to say whenever people call on her that you are using and abusing services in their time. No, I've never really talked about this, but let me just put this out here. If you have a concern and you call law enforcement or you call social services because you have a legitimate concern that somebody, whether it's an adult or a child, is in imminent danger of themselves or someone else, and you call an agency, it is their fucking job to do the checkups, okay? You're not wasting anybody's time. It's not going to bother that worker at the end of the day. They're still getting paid, whether they come to your house or someone else's house. They're still going to get paid at the end of the day. So stop projecting and putting out into the universe, you're wasting their time. No, don't say that. That is a deflection at its max, okay? And furthermore, you sat on your platform and you said you were worried. You said you were worried for this little boy. You said you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't have any intentions. You didn't know your plan for talking about this, but you were worried about his safety. And I did see a few people pushing, well, why don't you call somebody then? And she's like, oh, no. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm sure somebody has already. There's an advocate at its best, guys. Apparently, all of us have been doing advocacy incorrect. Apparently, to be an advocate, you say one thing, you spread misinformation, and you just don't give a shit. Apparently, that's what being an advocate nowadays is. So, I don't know what else to say. If I continue to sit on here, I'm going to continue to get more and more petty and more frustrated. And I don't want to go down a route where I'm just being, honestly, end up being a mean girl, because that's how frustrated I am. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you are interested at all in my story, it's available. You're welcome to go watch it. It's been on my channel. It was how I started my channel. They're old videos. They're not the best, but they're there if you want to see them. I will be making sure that this is a part of my content moving forward. So I appreciate everybody who's been here, everybody who has shown support, for all of the super chats. You guys really didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it. I will be having an open discussion later on today at 3:30. If you're interested in having an open discussion about moderators, everybody's welcome. But I am going to get off of here. I appreciate you all. If anybody ever needs any assistance with anything, you know you're welcome to reach out to me. All of my links should be in the description. But with all of that being said, I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. And until next time, bye guys.